And we're live.
Yeah, I would have disagreed with you about the 16 days thing prior to yesterday. Right? I thought the Trump train would just keep on going, that he'd be a really active
It'll keep
figure.
on going on.
I think the Trump train, is it derailed? I think
False.
it could be.
No.
Okay,
False.
go on. What are you thinking?
No. Yesterday proved that it's going to keep on going. You think the people that were doing that are like the only people that like felt that way? Like there's tens and tens of millions of people who were like, I wish I was there sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk. First of all, I woke up late. Like I've been playing a lot of Rust, so like my sleep schedule's fucked. Because I play with a guy from Finland and a guy from Australia, so I got to be on their fucking wavelength. So I didn't wake up until like 5 p.m. And I wake up in my phone.
You missed the good stuff.
I look at my phone and it's just every person I know has messaged me. Are you seeing this? DC is nuts. Just one message after another of crazy shit. And I'm like, all right, fucking wake up like CNN, let's go. And I see it. And it was, look,
wild.
Am I wrong in saying that someone told me today that multiple people died? I'm unaware of that. 4
people died.
Okay. The only person that I was aware of that died at that time was that goofball woman who tried to climb through a window, and DC police or Secret Service, Capitol Police, whatever, shot her in the throat.
Good shooting, bad shooting.
It's a bad shooting, but who else died?
There's a police officer who died, and then 2 others that were complications.
Were
but
there
they
other
didn't release.
shootings?
I don't know.
They didn't.
Were they like heart attacks or something?
That's what it's sounding like.
One police officer supposedly tased themselves and then died of a heart attack.
That we're not counting that. That's not on Trump.
Right. But
no,
there's no way. All right, I just stop the presses for one moment. Do any of us blame Donald Trump and his what he probably
would that have happened if there was no riot?
Dude, that is such an embarrassing way to die.
Yes. If he's stupid enough today to tase himself to death, he was going to be stupid. It was a matter of time.
I'll accept
Dude, that is Officer Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
That guy, God, what an embarrassing
Why didn't you go
way to
with Chief Wiggums in that thing? But okay.
Chief Wiggum only shot others. He never shot
I only shot others. Or whatever, however he sounds. I don't know.
They haven't announced any of the like causes of death of the other 3 as far as I know, but one tweet that I saw said an officer who had a heart attack passed away, and then yesterday I heard a rumor that one officer tased himself. So just take everything with a grain of salt. We only know of the woman who got shot in the throat.
All right,
my mind is 100% made up. I saw the funniest take about it from some just random person where they're like, when it just made me laugh so hard. They're like, it was after they'd already got into the building, and they're like, this is like when you finish a level on a video game and it won't go to the cutscene. And so they're like, we took over is there like a puzzle box or something? We need to find her. Is there one loading? And I was just like,
they were just roaming around. Yeah.
It's like a dog who caught the mail truck where they're like, I got it. And it's like, all right, now what?
Like, no, I kind of disagree with you there because like, all right, so they went into Pelosi's office. They went through her emails. A guy from The Blaze has her emails, has been posting them. They stole the hard drives out of a bunch of people's people's PCs. Like lots of PCs had the hard drives pulled. That guy who's running with
about that? I haven't heard 100%. Any of this.
Yeah, it's the hard drives.
Okay.
One of the guy who has the podium and is running with it. Yeah. He's hilarious.
That is the funniest picture I've ever seen.
That was marching out. That was on photo.
Smiling.
I saw that on Photoshop battles, and someone photoshopped it to have Mitch McConnell still on it as he's running with it, and it's just I laughed for half an hour.
Just that guy's unbridled joy as he's like, like I got the podium.
The guy who has the like buffalo headdress on with the horns and the painted face.
Yeah, I saw that.
Up on like I don't know what you call it, the dais or whatever, like where the Speaker of the House stands to fucking address all of Congress or whatever. Him up there flexing is fucking hilarious. Now look, I don't want to. I'm conflicted on how I feel about what happened yesterday because on one hand, it's horrible that people died. On the other,
yeah.
I hate those people anyway. So when everybody's like, oh, the sanctity of our Capitol, it's like, yeah, the place where those greasy politicians get bribed to do the bidding of our overlords. Yeah. They're not those people aren't our representatives by any stretch of the imagination. No. Like those are not the good guys. And like it's hard for me to paint them in my mind as the good guys so that I can thereby paint those people who storm in there as the bad guys. I don't like seeing them carrying a fucking Confederate flag into the United States Capitol, though. That's fucking nonsense. Yeah. You're starting to, are we the baddies? Kind of thing is going on when I see that. I also don't like that people died as a result of it. That's terrible too. However, when I look at it from what maybe we have some information that we don't have here, but it sounds like some fat cops died of heart attacks. One literally shot himself with a taser and killed himself. Tasers aren't lethal though. We can just deploy them anytime. And then the other is, I saw a photo of that woman, and I know her family are watchers, and they're patrons and all.
They're patrons, right?
Yeah, she looked retarded, and I don't mean that and like, haha, that's retarded, right? I mean, she looked mentally handicapped. So maybe don't shoot her in the throat when she tries to like climb through a glass window.
I didn't think she looked retarded.
Let me try to. I saw a Twitter post, and it was like, "This is the mastermind who was leading the charge to overthrow the Capitol boys," and she's just like, "Ooh," she looks demented.
Maybe I'm not thinking of the same one, but I saw her business partner posted her last like conversation with her on Twitter, and it was like, "Be safe, please. I can't stand to lose you." And then it's her with a photo of her on a plane with her mask on, being like, "Train's full of Trump supporters. It's gonna be great. I'll watch my 6." And then, but she didn't look like she had a mental disability to me.
You must have seen a really unflattering photo. Like, I've looked at a bunch. This one's representative of what I think she looks like.
Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
Lady.
I'm gonna keep digging. Because I saw it in our like Patreon chat. Like,
Woody, that photo you provided, that makes her look like a normal woman. I got to keep digging. There's one of her in a spinny hat.
Is this the one you thought she looked retarded?
Let me come back over to your chat and see what you got. Oh no, my friend, it's a picture of her in the Capitol on the day. Okay. I think this might be a Terry Schiavo moment where you've got pre-stroke Terry Schiavo and I've got post-stroke Terry Schiavo, and we're putting her on a fuckable list.
Okay, I don't think she was retarded. She was not. She was clearly not a retarded person.
This is her on the day. Anyway, I've seen enough photos here that I just don't think she's that bad.
Yeah, I think you're on the.
You must have seen her worst photo shot.
I may have misunderstood what this photo was representing because I'm opening it for the first time. I'm linking it to you right now. I don't know who this is supposed to be. I'm sorry. I've got a lot of Discords open right now. I gotta come back over to us. But I saw this post earlier, and I don't know who that actually is. I thought that was.
I've seen this photo too.
Old grandma.
Dude, that's just an old lady.
But why is it like, look at the heading, and it has 40,000 retweets. I thought this was the lady who died.
Yeah, it's just a nice old lady. Post. It's a shit post.
Are you telling me this tactical genius overpowered the officers protecting the Capitol? I can see why maybe you inferred that she was the lady who got shot. Yes. Yeah, but it wasn't the same person.
Dude, it's a Rain Man type deal. She's like a strategic genius.
But you got to agree with me. You don't shoot that lady. That lady looks
and she didn't get.
I don't
she got
think
helped.
I'm sure did shoot her.
It's Secret Service.
Shouldn't have charged.
I'm guessing they don't carry tasers, but tasing would have been really good in that.
Did you see the video of the one single cop with a baton running up flights of stairs? Yeah, turning around and be like, "Stop on these stairs, I swear!" And then like 30 people turn the corner. He's like, we'll give him another.
I'll tell you what I did see.
You gotta stop. Never mind.
I saw that. What do you do? How do you do better?
I don't know.
What he could. Like,
1v30. He's like, this is the line. Okay, wait.
What?
This is the line.
As long as I keep reading what the line is, I technically haven't lost.
I'm gonna try to find the DC police officer who's in the crowded hallway. And he reminds me of Kevin.
Selfies?
No. He looks like Kevin Malone from The Office when Michael made him cry. He is almost tearful. Like he's one person shouting at him away from crying.
Am I the only one? So here's one of the things I don't like about what happened. I felt like our Capitol building was secure. I thought it was protected. I thought it would be hard to overrun. It is surprising to me that a bunch of retards can just walk in and the police will pull the barriers back and let them take over Congress. They stopped the delayed, I should say, the presidential electoral counting. They delayed it by 4 hours, 6 hours, something like that.
More. It didn't happen till 3:30 in the morning.
I know. I was up watching it. It was
don't
like
know what
1
would have happened otherwise, but I think they shut it down for 4 or 6 hours or something. But like, it should be harder to take over the U.S. Capitol than that. It should be really difficult. Like, the Chinese shouldn't be able to do it, let alone a fucking bunch of redneck cosplayers.
The Chinese would never be able to slowly walk up into the Capitol building. They'd all be shot the second
if they wear MAGA hats. They can.
Yeah. I always thought there would be some. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say that this is the biggest thing that I was taking away from this all was like, it was funny to me until they actually just walked in, and my thought was like, how big of balls do you have to think that like I can with impunity break the window of the Capitol building and climb in and then start walking around the chamber? Like, every alarm bell in my head is like, you're gonna get shot, you're dead, you can't do that, don't do that. When you are doing school trips, because I grew up in Baltimore and we go down to DC every year, like, you'd get yelled at for taking your phone out in the treasury, right? And like somebody be like, hey, no phone. I was like, Jesus, all right, I'm sorry. But these
I'm addicted.
Turns out those cry bullies aren't so tough when some grown men show up. They run and hide.
Somebody told me, he was like, they had friendly fire turned off. It was something like 83% of police officers, when surveyed for the Hillary versus Trump election, chose Trump, right? I feel like there's definitely a non-zero sum of people that were like, what do you mean you're going to make me fight back against my cousin? Like, I can't do this. And they're just like,
yeah. Have you seen the videos of them pulling the metal barriers back?
I thought, but
probably.
Look at the one I just posted. This is great.
I thought there would be a lot more booby traps. Like, I thought there would be like booby traps, like actual
booby traps.
Well, maybe not booby traps, but like some
Temple of Doom.
I thought that there might be like well, first of all, like the clip I saw that Woody referenced, like I was like, damn, how did they like storm in? And then I watched the clip and it was like,
dude,
an officer just moved the barrier and it was just like, and then people just were like walking as though they were like looking at new stores in a shopping area. Like, they got to build a bear. Oh, fun.
Yeah,
no, I'm not rushing to get to the Capitol. I'll just take a leisurely stroll.
Tucker, do you want to say something?
I was going to say, the one where they're opening the gates, I don't think we see where they go after the gates are opened, which led me to think that maybe they were opening the gates because they were going into a courtyard that would be easier to control than the choke point. But the TikTok video of the main steps where like a couple people get through and then everybody just fucking goes, that's the one that's shocking to me, because like the police just kind of give up. Like the barrier gets moved and like, fuck it, you guys have the Capitol now. It was like,
so I have all this unconfirmed information. Like, they wanted to call the National Guard in and Trump said no, and then eventually Pence said yes. Have you heard that?
Pence can't say yes to that. So it was the Secretary of Defense is the only one that can mobilize the National Guard outside of Trump, and he can only do that when Trump is not reachable. So some idiots were on Twitter being like, the 25th got invoked. Like, no, it didn't. Trump didn't exercise the guards. The Secretary of Defense was like, all right, we need to do it, so we're going to do it. Fuck, we're not going to ask for permission from Trump or anyone.
So a fifth person just died from the insurrection yesterday. This one was a cop. Yeah. I'm trying to find another cop. I'm looking.
Oh, that is so funny, because I just clicked Twitter out of nowhere and the top thing says U.S. Capitol Police say no officers killed during insurrection in D.C.
Okay. Wait, U.S. Capitol Police. So it might say no officers, but it doesn't, like, what does that also apply to? There's other police forces out there, right?
Yeah.
But this says a U.S. Capitol Police officer has died.
I thought that DC Police and Capitol Police were two different entities.
I don't know, but I think it was the Capitol Police that was primarily involved. But yeah, they reported that a Capitol Police officer died a few hours ago, and then the Capitol Police just came out a bit ago and said that's not true. Nobody died. No police officer.
Maybe this is wrong.
I think they just changed it because
one of them's wrong for sure.
So maybe we were mistaken about the taser guy. Maybe he just tased himself.
It's funnier if we just believe it's correct.
Just died of embarrassment.
He tased himself. He's like, fuck it. All right, I can't live it down.
Oh, I gotta go rent a cop. What is the Capitol Police? What do they just walk around there? That's it?
Are they the same? Are
they the same?
They have one job, Taylor. It's to stop insurrections from getting inside of the congressional buildings.
But is it
they're bad at it
as a regular cop? Like, if a regular cop sees a meter maid,
it's got to be higher than that.
Well, I don't know.
I didn't know if where on the spectrum? Are they
Right?
higher than the regular cop? Because what are they really doing all day?
Is maybe a regular cop better, and they're more like campus police at a college?
Yeah. Like what are they doing?
I would think that it would be the opposite, right? Because you have the sergeant at arms who does the inside. He's like the guy who controls all the inside of the house shit. And then you have the chief of police of the Capitol Police. I would assume that he would be a higher ranking, but maybe less influential version of the head of police of DC, right? So like head of DC police keeps everything good in DC, but probably not on the same tier as the guy who keeps everything safe in the Capitol, right? I would think that
I'm looking at their training. So first they do 12 weeks of intensive training at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center in Georgia. And then after that, after they graduate from there, they will return to the Capitol Police Training Academy in Maryland for 13 more weeks. So these guys have all of 25 weeks of training.
What's normal cop?
About 8 days.
Yeah, that's 4 times normal.
All right, well, 8 to 3 class. Get here early.
Yeah,
you want. Yeah, so well, it is reassuring to know that it would be infinitely harder to break into my house than the Capitol.
I don't know. That was a lot of manpower.
I would have put up more of a fight.
You see Buffalo Bill coming.
So you wouldn't just pull the door open for them and gesture them inside?
I would have said, go home! Get out of here! I would just turn the TV up. You guys can watch The Simpsons through the window if you want. But
that's as far as I go.
As far as you can do it.